Bahamas, you've said that when you're writing and recording, that you try to work the songs until they don't sound like anyone else or are attached to the sound of any era or any time. Can you talk a little bit about how you do that?
I mean, the main thing is just not trying to be referential. You know, as much as I love the sound of a Beatles bass guitar, I don't want my bass guitar to sound that way. You know, so sometimes you can accidentally realize that you're going down a direction, and so sort of being conscious of that and just pulling it back towards something that's just less referential. That to me, then you know you're getting sort of an unfiltered version of what I want to do. You know.
You've also referenced that you try to get melodies and lyrics as tight as possible. Can you talk about like what techniques you do or how you get it tight, how you get it right?
I think just economy of words, you know, just trying to get your point across in as little time as possible. And so, you know, that involves just having space in the music that you make and just saying a line and then giving the listener a chance to hear that line and think about it. You know, I always think of Harvest Moon by Neil Young. Because if you listen to that song, he's not in a rush to get anywhere. He says, "When we were strangers," pause, "I loved you from afar," you know, and it's like, it's just so beautiful. And each line is so beautiful, and he's not in a rush at all. And right away, your body just goes down to that level. And I love music that kind of has the ability to do that.
I would say your music does that as well. Like when I listen to your music, it has that slowness about it, but not that the songs are slow necessarily, but it slows the listener down, as you say, and gives room for them to really hear it.
Yeah, I call it a soft power. You know, you can if you want to command a room, you can come in there and be loud. But and there's people who are elected to high office that use that technique. But you can also come in and just try and be relaxed and be yourself, and that also has a very powerful effect and tends to draw people in. And so, you know, trying to make music that has some of those qualities is important to me.
I get a sense in your songs, a real sense of if not embracing, at least acknowledging the contradiction. Like on one line you'll say, "I can't do anything," and then in 2 lines later you're going, "We can do anything." Yeah, right. Or you're saying, committing to me feels like committing a crime. Both those things are true at the same time, and yet you have the sense to see it.
Well, it's funny you say that. My wife was like, "How come you never write me any love songs?" Which I'll tell her that the love song for the ages is coming. But yeah, you kind of need everything. If it's too much of one thing, often that puts people off. And to think about another song, it's like Willie Nelson's Always on My Mind. To me, is such a beautiful example of that, because what he's singing about is so sad, but it's got so much love in it that you kind of have, salty and sweet. It's like that's the ultimate combo. Yeah. So again, just trying to do that with music is important, and a lot of it just happens subconsciously, just because of where I'm at. That's just what comes naturally to me, So a lot of it's just trying to get out of the way and just let that song come to me,